The world has entered a new era of UFO encounters, understanding, and acceptance. Incredible eyewitness testimony and a growing number of declassified files of alleged extraterrestrial encounters rattles our sense of security within the vastness of the cosmos.
It's the ultimate question, are we alone in the universe?
I know definitively that we're not.
Terrell Copeland came to this conclusion in the most chilling of ways. In 2007, the ex-Marine claimed he was taken, beyond his will, by unknown entities aboard one of their crafts.
I certainly don't know where they're from, but they're not human.
And Terrell's experience would bring on a roller coaster of intense emotions.
When you're confronted with something that is not supposed to be real, you react in a primal way, like fight, flight, or you're in shock.
It's very difficult for people to process these incredible experiences. Many people go into denial. It's hard to accept what seems to be unacceptable.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around what happened to me. It was bizarre. I started to question my sanity. I was like, I'm losing my mind.
Growing up, before his terrifying UFO encounter opened up his world to the incredible unknown, Terrell Copeland didn't give much thought to UFOs.
I grew up in the church. My mom is a minister, so that's something that's not taught. It wasn't something I was thinking about, especially as a kid. As you know, I was born in Portsmouth, raised in Suffolk, rural area. Been here most of my life. Joined the military, Marine Corps when I was in the 11th grade. I was on active duty for about 2 years and came back home. This is where I've been ever since.
Shortly after his return from combat, the military veteran began to notice strange lights in the sky. It was then when his thoughts, emotions, and imagination turned to the possibility of extraterrestrials and their incredible flying craft.
This occurred over a 3-night period. And it was just this big, beautiful orb of light that was out in the distance. That second night, I saw it again in the same general vicinity. Big, gorgeous ball of light just sitting there in the air. That really piqued my interest. What is this thing, you know?
Unable to ignore these fascinating and mysterious lights, Terrell hopped in his car to get a closer look.
I ended up in the parking lot of a shopping center, and what I saw was an object that was larger than the whole shopping area, a massive object just sitting there. It was a black triangle.
The military veteran is certain that this was not a terrestrial aircraft. It was eerily silent.
I was absolutely afraid. I couldn't hear anything. No jet noise, no nothing. It was like, what is this? I mean, what's going on here? It started moving maybe a couple miles an hour down the road.
And then it disappeared. It was gone, but the encounter would forever alter Terrell's life.
That sighting changed my foundation as far as beliefs and what I think I know and definitely what I didn't know. And that's what started me on the path that kind of, you know, has anybody else seen anything like this?
Terrell's new mission was to keep an eye to the sky and document the UFO if it ever returned. And in 2007, it did. His footage of the triangular-shaped craft would become one of the most widely shared UFO videos ever.
I was like, man, who gets to witness stuff like this? You know, this is unreal.
Unidentified triangles in the sky, like Terrell's, have been witnessed around the world.
Triangular UFOs are very common. We've had multiple sightings that were triangular UFOs.
One of the most famous sightings of triangle-shaped UFOs was in 1990 in Belgium. Over a period of a few months, several eyewitnesses came forward, claiming they saw anomalous triangle objects in the sky.
In the Phoenix Lights, famous Phoenix Lights scenario back in 1997, That is what many, not all, but many people reported seeing, either lights in the shape of a triangle or, in fact, a vehicle of some kind in a triangular shape.
Sightings of these crafts have increased over the years. In 2020, the U.S. National UFO Reporting Center recorded 200 reports of triangle-shaped crafts.
Is a triangle conducive to their purpose, their mode of motion? Is it something to do with their propulsion, the energy fields they create? Can't say.
It's a terrifying possibility to consider that an unknown species appears to have the ability to drop into our lives and abduct us at will.
I became consumed by it. There is something else out there. Are they from outer space? I don't know. They could be from another dimension. They could be from another time.
Across the country, Erin Montgomery has also been struggling to understand her own haunting memories. Like Terrell, Erin also believes she's the victim of an alien abduction, and more frightening, lives in constant fear that she will be taken again.
I have had times throughout my life where I struggled with sleep. I would huddle in the corner of my bed thinking, oh my God, just don't come get me, leave me alone, don't come tonight, please just don't come tonight.
It all started one night back in 2012.
So I had gone to bed that night just as I would normally go to bed, and fell asleep.
What happened next haunts Erin to this day.
The next thing I remembered, I woke up encased in what seemed like a stretcher, and I could tell I was being moved, and I pretty much kind of just went back black, you know, just kind of phased out.
Her next recollection was waking up in what looked like a cave.
The walls all around were rock, like it had been chiseled out or blown out with dynamite or something like that. The next thing I remembered was pain, horrible, horrible pain racking through my lower abdomen. And as I tried to sit up and hold my stomach, I realized I was tied down. My arms were restrained, and I had a surgical tent type of apparatus across my belly, and I was confused.
That's when she saw them.
There were two rather tall, gray alien type beings at the foot of the bed, and that's really when the panic set in. I knew something awful was happening, and I was in so much pain.
Erin's pain and emotional stress didn't end after her experience.
And when I awoke in my bed the next morning, I had a hard time, like, was this real? Was this a dream? I didn't know if what I had experienced was real or not. And then I found fingerprint bruises on the inside of my thighs, and I knew that it had been real. I was devastated. I was scared.
The trauma of Erin's recollections soon began to take a toll on her personal life.
I became much more irritable. I became more depressed. I began missing work. All of the areas of life suffered because of the trauma that I had gone through that night.
Erin needed to uncover the truth of what had happened to her and looked to hypnosis to unlock the memories hidden deep within her mind.
I had never been hypnotized before, so I wasn't sure what to expect.
Hypnosis has helped abductees unearth buried memories, but they are often accompanied by traumatic emotional wounds.
Essentially, what you're doing is reliving the experience itself. There can be crying and screaming and erratic movement during this experience.
Erin's hypnosis session reveals something startling, a deep impression that she had been visited by these strange creatures before, as a child.
I was 7 years old, and I remember I had gone to bed, and I just felt that there was this bright light coming through the window. And It was at that moment that I realized there was somebody standing next to the bed.
And they're not alone. Erin sees there are 2 other unknown beings in her room as well.
So there were 3 in the room. And the one at my feet slid his hand under my foot, and it was at that point in time that I levitated out of the bed.
Levitation is one of the more common elements of abductions. They don't open the door. They go through the window or through the roof of the car, through a wall, through the ceiling, and invariably onto the craft.
Which is exactly what Erin claimed happened.
I could feel my molecules like shifting apart and passing through the molecules of the ceiling, eventually out through the roof and into the sky. And all 4 of us are floating in what I then could see was a beam of light rising up to a ship in the sky, and it was a saucer-shaped ship.
Erin's experience takes a horrific turn when she arrives inside the mysterious craft.
They took me into a room, what I would call like an exam room or something like that, and they put me into a chair and strapped me in so I wouldn't be moving around. And it was at this point that another being entered the room.
Erin remembered this entity was not like the others. Its appearance fills her with a desperate fear.
I became so terrified of this being that I tried to get out of the chair. I was yelling, screaming, get me out of here. The creature approached me with a tool that was like a fork. It had 2 prongs on it, and resting in the middle of the prong was a biological, like gelatinous piece of something. It was inserted into the roof of my mouth, and woke up in the morning with no memory at all of what had happened.